Think Like a White Man by Dr. Boulay Whitewood III. I am going to argue, I'm not going to go full Femi. I'm going to go diet Femi. Femi, that's not that you're in good shape. You know what I'm saying? In 2014, I had just become a dad, and I wanted to go somewhere quiet, tranquil, and peaceful to go and write a book. So I went to Las Vegas by myself, and because in Las Vegas they pump oxygen into your hotel rooms, so you can't sleep, so you go out and gamble. So I don't gamble, I don't do drugs, I don't do womanize, I just have fun writing satirical books about racists. So that's my thing, and I went to Las Vegas to go do that. And I was walking on the Las Vegas Strip by myself about 2 in the morning because I couldn't sleep. So I was on UK time, and they pump oxygen to your roof, so my head was completely messed up. So I thought, let me just walk from one end of the Las Vegas Strip to the other. Blazing hot, but it's in the middle of the night. And I'm walking along. And then suddenly, I noticed there's a bit of like quick, you know when you say there's rapid commotion, really, really rapid commotion. And it was these 2, maybe 3 white guys. Clearly what I would identify as working class, but I didn't know where they came from. And there were some other guys, which I can't really describe where they were from, because I can't remember it too well. But I just remember the fear I felt personally when I saw the first white guy get his face slapped. And I'm telling you, it was the most magnificent pimp slap I'd ever seen in my life. I literally did. I hadn't seen someone get slapped like that since I left boarding school. And I went to a Nigerian boarding school. And I nearly wet myself. That's how petrified I was. Then suddenly I start seeing these 2 guys start getting their brakes beaten off of them. And I hear one of them shout out. And I'm just walking by, it's none of my business. And I'm walking by, it's nothing to do with me whatsoever. And as I'm walking by, and you know when you just look into the corner of your eye, and you're like, no drama. As I'm walking by, suddenly, when he shouted out, I heard a Scouse accent. And the moment I heard the accent, something in me just felt like, these are my people. Idiots. I know these times very, very well. I've been up and down the UK. These are, I have an image in my head how to go to work. But I felt at that particular moment that, for better, for worse, where Brits are bored, kind of have to step in to help these guys. So I didn't step in on the rah-rah, like, hey, what are you saying? No, I just said, oh guys, can we leave it alone, please? I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. They're friends of mine, can we just leave them be? So I split up the fight and basically damn near saved these 2 guys' lives. And I helped them get to the back of their feet. And I looked at them, and we just kind of spoke for a couple of seconds. I said, what happened? And they're just speaking, I'm not going to do a Scouse accent because I don't do it too well, you see. So, and they just said to me, they didn't know what really happened. Maybe they said something that was quite annoying. I said, be careful out here, guys. It's America. And we spoke to each other, and just kind of gave me a hug as a mark of gratitude. And I looked at them as a way. They went their way, I went my way. And it's in that moment that I go back to. Because it wasn't like I planned that or anything else, it was just instinctive. Are you with me? It was a moment of us. And I thought to myself, could I literally walk on by, knowing that these were 2 Brits, similar to myself, getting their behinds beaten out of them, might even be killed there or so, or certainly injured. Could I do that and just turn my back on it and then read it in the news the following day that 2 British boys got killed in the Las Vegas Strip? Yeah. certainly, I'm I'm not as cold-blooded or as black-blooded as Katie. But I basically stepped in, just to calm everything down and let them go their way. I went my way. But what it said to me that evening, right there and then, was just the instinctive, I'll wrap up in a second. What it said to me was just the instinctiveness of that. It's us. So the question, do we have a moral obligation to bear arms for Britain? The answer is probably no. But the reality is that when rubber hits the road, should Sam be in danger? Should my sister who went to University of Plymouth be in danger? Should Halima, should the gentleman in lovely red trousers over here, his legs completely man-spreading over here, should my aunt over here, or should my cousin over here in the purple top be in danger? Should Lola Jai be in danger? Should our sister in yellow trainers here be in danger? Should any of you be in danger? Would I ride? The answer is yes. Not because I want to, but because I feel something, I don't know if it's a moral obligation or just something in me or so that makes me feel the need to stand up for you, for your rights, even when you might even be wrong. Because that's just how humanity sometimes works. I don't know if it's a British thing, or it's a humane thing, or humanity thing or so, but there's just something in me that goes back to those two crying Scouse accents on Las Vegas Strip that made me just think to myself, would I know you guys let me die before you bury me. And I know you're going to bury me. I know how you guys do Kenny, and I'm going to die.